Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight with the PMDG 777. Today we are leaving Vienna for Bangkok on the Austrian Flight 7, and we are testing PMDG's latest 777 update, which sees some fly-by-wire refinement as well as some stability tweaks to the autopilot. Now this is going to be an interesting one, so I'd say without losing any further time we are going to get right into this. So join me in the cockpit of our 777 and then let's take a seat over here and start to prepare our airplane for today's service. We are aiming to do this on VATSIM, so let's hope that they are going to stay online for long enough. But starting our setup, we check the ICAS for anything that is not supposed to be there, but this is all looking good today. Then our oil quantity is good, the hydraulic quantity is good, and then we can also do the oxygen test on this side as well as on this side, and finally also on this side in the back over here. Now let's turn on the ADRU and the voice recorder, and then we can get started with our flight deck setup. So let's go down into the electronic flight bag and request our data from SimBrief, and then we can have a quick look into our plan of the day. So here's what our route looks like. We are leaving Vienna and then south of Ukraine through India all the way down to Bangkok. The weather is completely clear on the first half, crossing some low-level CBs on the second half, and then we do have some CBs close to Thailand later on the arrival, but overall good weather conditions. Now looking into our airport weather, leaving Vienna, we've got beautiful weather today, and then on our arrival in Bangkok tomorrow morning, there is some chance for some thunderstorms, but hopefully those are going to come in after our arrival. They'll start at 0800 and we're supposed to be there at 0744, so we got a plan with them, but we gotta hope for the best. Now with that in mind, our alternate in Victor Tango Bravo uniform is reporting perfect weather, so Pattaya is fine, and that means we don't have to take extra fuel, but I want to go the safe side here. So on-time arrival, if we leave on time, the weights are all looking fantastic, starting in level 350, later on up to level 390, and then going down into the fuel section. We've got 71.7 plus 500 kilos taxi. I'd say let's take half an hour extra, that's 3,000 kilos, and those take an additional 1,000 to be transported, so 4 tons on top. So what we're gonna do is we take 72 plus 4, so 76 tons of fuel. Now let's go into the weight and balance, load the plane from SimBrief, and on the precise loading page we are gonna go with 76 tons like this. Okay then, fantastic, the airplane is loaded, then let's go right into the pre-flight procedures, starting with our ATIS. So we'll go for the ATIS request, Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey, and we'll take the VATSIM ATIS, send that please, and then we can go right down into our CDU. So FMC 777-200G90 engine, and the nav database is up to date. Position in it, copy paste the GPS position, and then let's go for the route request and select that. Now looking at the departure ATIS from Vienna, departure runway 29, noise abatement sits to be expected. Wind touchdown zone 160 at 4, Kavok 11 degrees 1001. Okay, so let's set that QNH 1001 like this, and down here as well please. Come on. Like this. Alright, and that's set 3 times. Fantastic. Okay then, let's get started with our setup, and I am gonna go for the IFR clearance straight away down here, because I have no idea which SID we can expect. So that's ATIS information Golf, departure clearance request, ATIS Golf facility Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey, and our gate is Foxtrot 23. We'll also tell them servos, and that's it. Austrian 7 facility Vienna, from Vienna to Bangkok, ATIS Golf Fox 23. Looks good, sent. Okay, so departure runway 29er, and we have filed for the ASPIP to Charlie departure. I'm not 100% sure if we can actually expect that, but I suppose we are gonna find out. For the arrival, we are planned with the ILS Zulu approach runway 19er, and we're coming in by the Willa 1 Charlie arrival, and the turret transition. We're also gonna select LATMA, and then let's go for activate and see what we got there. Alright, our PDC is here already. That was quick. So the ATIS is checked, we can cancel that one. Then the clearance request is checked, standby. And here's our PDC. So we're cleared to Bangkok off runway 29, climbing 5,000 feet via ASPIC to Charlie, squawk 4341, monitor 122-125, and report ready in TOBT. Alright, so we monitor 122-125. Like that, and then we got a squawk of 4341. Accept this. Alright, and finally runway 29 and ASPIC to Charlie. Alright, execute this. Fantastic. Oh, QNH 1002 down there. Then let's go ahead and dial that one up. Okay, fantastic. So let's find the ASPIC to Charlie departure. Here it is. Okay, straight ahead to 1000, and then it's gonna be a left-hand turn. And we have 1000 left turn, 395, 397, 387, ASPIP, and Adana. And that's it. Alright, cool. Climb it to 5000, that's all tracked, no speed restrictions on this one. Looking fantastic. Okay. Then let's get our wind data. 4,791 nautical miles on the FMS versus 4,800 on the flight plan. That's close enough. Nothing in the RADNAV page. And Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey for the fix info with a 25-mile ring. And finally having a quick look into Blackbox 711's website to get the engine out sit. We go straight out to 8 DME Fox Mike Delta, left turn, Whiskey Whiskey 951 and hold. Okay, so we need Fox Mike Delta /8, and then we need Whiskey Whiskey 9051. Okay, and that is looking good. Then we have all that stuff. The wind data is also here, so let's go ahead and load that. And then we can continue. The VNAV page has a transition altitude at 10,000, which is correct. And then going on to our performance. So, alternate 2.2, final 2.8, call it 5,000 kilos exactly. Cruising in flight level 350, cost index 20, minimum fuel temperature minus 44, step size 2000, cruise CG 30, noise abatement procedure number 2, which is in there. And then finally let's load our descent forecast wind, and then we are done with our FMS. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's finish up the rest of our flight deck. Here everything's checked. You can go on. Refueling is complete, so the signs are coming on. Middle is checked, the right is checked. On the front, let's turn the flight director switches on. And we do want the airports on both sides, like here and here. Auto brake RTO, frequencies are set. We are monitoring left, right, and center. Our third pilot's gonna get the same stuff. Then we need 1 to 1.5. Okay, and let's put him on the speaker as well. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the time being. That's our flight deck setup completed. So, clearance is accepted, and new messages, clearance confirmed. Fantastic. Alright, our IRS has aligned, so let's do the pre-flight checklist. That's oxygen, test 100%, flight instruments, heading 019, altimeter 1002, reading 620, set left and right. Pre-flight checklist complete. Okay, are you ready for the departure briefing? So we're going to leave Vienna runway 29 ASPIB to Charlie departure, initial climb 5000 MSA wise in the vicinity of the airport. 4000 keeps us safe, on the far out up to 12,000, extra fuel on time. We are carrying 4000 kilos, giving us half an hour. We've got no hotspots for our taxi out, and the stop margin for today's takeoff will be about 100 meters. Engine out sits straight ahead to 8 DME Fisherman, and then a left turn back to Whiskey 95. That one over there. If we need to make an immediate return, runway 16 is the active landing runway. We're above the max landing weight, but that is not going to hinder us from landing over here, and that's pretty much all I got for this. Apart from that, nothing special, nothing non-standard. Threats, I honestly don't see any, do you? No? Alright, then that's our departure briefing completed. So then, let's go ahead and say servus to our passengers. Liebe Fluggäste, einen schönen guten Abend aus dem Cockpit, hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel im Namen der Austrian, da habe ich Sie ganz herzlich an Bord von unserer Boeing 777 auf unserem gemeinsamen Flug nach Bangkok willkommen heißen. Die Flugzeit heute beträgt ca. 9 Stunden 45, erwarten einen weitestgehend ruhigen Flug. Wir erledigen jetzt noch den letzten Papierkram, machen uns dann bereit und wünschen Ihnen schon jetzt einen schönen Aufenthalt bei uns an Bord. Wir melden uns mit dem neuesten Wetter, wenn wir uns im Anflug befinden. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel, and in the name of Austrian, welcome aboard of our Boeing 777 on our flight to Bangkok. Today's flight time is going to be 9 hours 45 minutes, expecting a smooth flight and an on-time arrival. Thank you very much for being our guests. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and we'll get back to you with the latest weather when we start the approach into our destination airport. Alright, and then we are done up here, so let's go ahead and do our performance figures. So, zero fuel 186.6, and that gives a gross weight of 262.6, and that is checked. Okay, lovely. Then let's have a look at the ATIS. Takeoff CG 29. So, Vienna runway 29, takeoff weight 262,600, CG 29, and then let's review uplink ATIS Golf. So, wind 160 at 4, temperature is 11 and QNH 1002 as per ATC. Air conditioning off and, no, anti-ice off, air conditioning auto, calculate. That gives us 32 degrees. Not a lot, 101.4% N1, that is checked. Flaps 5, takeoff CG 29, and the speeds 150, 158, 164. And those are all checked. Okay, looks good. Then we are done with this, so let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for the departure. No worries guys, this is not your simulator lagging, this is the actual EFB. Alright, here we go. Great. So, everything's done. Then I'd say we can call ATC for our pushback clearance. And we can remove all the ground equipment, please. So, door management, all are closed and all are armed. Okay, release ground power, remove chocks, and then we're good to go. Wien delivery is Airbus Austrian 7 Heavy, request startup. Okay, is that working? No. Alright, I think my V-pilot has messed up. Let's lock off and on again. Just quickly restarting that in the background. Wien delivery is Airbus Austrian 7 Heavy, request startup. I hear nothing. The only question is, why do I hear nothing? Okay, troubleshooting. Interesting, the headset is on. I think I know why. Wien, Austrian 7, radio check.
Austrian 7, Wien delivery, reach you 5.
Oh, thank you, 5 by 5 now. Austrian 7, request pushback and startup. Or startup only.
Check ground, 121 decimal 775, bye bye.
12177, Austrian 7, danke und sorry nochmal, tschüss.
Austrian 7, 121 decimal 775.
121,775, Austrian 7, tschüss.
Perfekt, guten Flug.
Und Austrian 202 being ground, hello, taxi via Lima, hold traction, TestFlight Delta,
Ground flight.
Lima,
Please
hold
confirm,
Lima
doors
1.
hatch is closed, ground equipment removed, and bypass pin is installed.
Delta, Lima,
That's all confirmed.
Lima 1.
Roger that, are we clear to pressurize? Yes, clear to pressurize.
Post Alpha Bravo Whiskey.
Okay.
TNT. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Bye-bye.
291, climbing to 5,000. Okay, and the trim 4 units, which we got. Okay, before start checklist. Flight deck door, closed and locked. MCP, V2164. Heading 291, altitude 5000. Take a speed, V1 150, VR 158, V2164. CDU pre-flight completed. Trims 4 units, 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Holding beacon. Wien Ground, schönen guten Abend, Austrian 7, Heavy, request pushback and startup.
Austrian 7, Wien ground, servus, stand by inbound traffic.
Okay, standing by. By the way, do not read that back on the frequency, I just set it for the video. Can we see something?
Austrian 7, push and start approved, facing east.
Push and start approved, facing east, Austrian 7. Okay, continue pushback and facing east.
Austrian 6,
V4 start checklist complete.
servus.
Ground from cockpit, push and start approved, and the brake is released. And 194 is pre-selected.
Austrian 202, continue taxi delegation.
Okay, the start sequence today is going to be 1 then 2, and we'll start engine number 1 now.
Taxi to stand 33 via Lima and
Engine 1 start.
Austrian 202.
Austrian 202, confirmed via Lima and taxi lane 37.
Taxi lane 37, Austrian 202.
Alright.
Lima has 202.
Interestingly enough, it doesn't tell us what that one is, and I have a feeling we might get it, but we'll see. We'll be using that live taxi map and see where we're getting with that. Alright, let's just start configuring those lights already. And pushback completed, set parking brakes. Parking brake set.
Please say Tango Alpha at gate. Thank you very much for the duty service. I'm disconnecting. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we got a good start in engine number 1, starting engine number 2. Clear 2. Engine 2 start. Alright, there's the lifter. Then we're waiting for engine number 2 to start. Here's fuel flow. And there's the ramp agent. Perfect, and he's got a pin. Okay, ground, you're clear to disconnect. We have 2 good starts, and see you on the left-hand side. Have a good day, bye-bye. And that's fantastic, 2 good starts. After starts, procedures. Okay, clear signal has been received. Flight controls. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral. B4 taxi checklist. Anti-eyes. Auto. Recall. Tracked. Flight controls tracked. Ground equipment clear. B4 taxi checklist complete.
Ich wünsche einen schönen Abend noch und ciao, ciao.
Schönen Abend. Tschüss.
Austrian 7, request taxi. Austrian 7, request taxi.
Austrian 7, taxi to holding point runway 29 via Whiskey and Mike.
Taxi holding point 29, Whiskey and Mike, Austrian 7. Okay, so, Whiskey and Mike. Perfect. Clear on the left side, clear on the right side. Park and brake off, let's go. So, straight ahead and then a right turn out onto Mike. So, I have no changes to the departure briefing. It's a left seat takeoff, runway 29, flaps 5, speeds 50, 58, 64. At 1000 feet, left turn to the first RNAV waypoint, contact departure. I do believe it's when advised, but let's have another quick look into the SID chart here. Yeah, contact Wien radar when advised by tower, 134675. Okay, other than that, engine out, straight ahead, 8 DME, left turn back to the RNAV point, and that's pretty much it. Any questions? Then we're clear on the left side, and we are clear on the right side.
Austin 7, contact tower, 119.4, bye-bye.
119.4, Austrian 7, bye-bye. Okay, cabin is ready. So, weather on my side and terrain on yours, please.
7, Charlie Bravo, hello.
Twin Towers, Airbus, Austrian 7 Heavy, ready for departure.
7, Servus, 160 degrees, 5 knots, runway 29, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 29, cleared for takeoff, Austrian 7. Okay. B4 takeoff checklist. B4 takeoff checklist complete. So, departure is 134675, as we've seen earlier. And runway 29 is confirmed. So, let's just quickly pre-select that.
Approaching 29.
34675. The rest is done, and we are clear on the left side, and we are clear on the right side. Are you ready? Then let's make it a rolling takeoff. Timing.
On runway 29.
Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Thrust set. Checked.
E1. Rotate.
So, nice and smooth rotation. Positive climb, gear up.
7, contact radar, 134,675, cheers.
134675, Austrian 7, Servus. Wind radar, Servus, Austrian 7 Heavy, passing 1700, climbing 5000. Flaps 1.
Falcon 7 being zero
Speed check.
identified. Climb 10,000 feet, no speed limit.
Climbing 10,000, no speed, Austrian 7. Set, 10,000 checked. Vienna. Flaps up. Speed checked. I just love the way the 777 flies. Look at this. Almost no input at all.
Falcon 7 out of 6,000, clear direct Adama.
Out of 6,000, direct Adama, Austrian 7. Okay, yes, flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete. Alright, so let's put the autopilot on and see if we can get any of those oscillations that are supposed to be fixed here. But for now, perfectly smooth. Okay, out of 6,000 we proceed to Adama, so let's try to reach those as quickly as possible here. But we are on full climb thrust already. Not much we can do about it right now.
Falcon 3012, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1002.
So Adama on top.
No exit speed restriction.
6,000 feet, 1002 and free speed out, if you want to, danke.
And yeah, for the time being, flies fantastic, doesn't it? I mean, it's too easy.
Austrian 7, climb flight level 230.
Austrian 7, climbing level 230. Set, 230 checked, and Vienna. And here's 6000. Execute. LNAV available, LNAV. So a little bit of rain everywhere, but nothing significant. Terrain shouldn't be any problem at all on this one. Especially not in this direction. So you can go over to the weather radar as well. It's probably a little bit more important right now. What I normally do when I'm using weather radar is that you got one side that shows you a high detail picture, aka a low range, and then you have another radar that shows you the lower detail but more expanded side of things, aka a high range, so that you get the big picture of what the weather system that you're flying through is actually looking like. That way you can see the details over here and the larger view over there. Of course you can only do it when the weather or when the terrain situation permits. For example, if we departed Innsbruck, I would definitely not do that. Then the terrain would be a little bit more important, at least until we're above the MSA. But like this right now, works very well. Okay, so let's see. Optimum 338, cruising filed in 350, that's perfect, isn't it? Arriving at 0730, and that should be just about a bit ahead of schedule. You can zoom out a bit so that we know where we're going.
Radar, hello again, Austrian 69 on the mic.
That's perfect.
On the mic, Vienna again. 69 on the mic, we're turning back to Vienna
right.
with small technical issue
Passing
with the
100.
pressurization system. No
Lights off, and the signs are going to remain on until we clear this. Okay, set standard. Standard is cross-check, passing flight level 108.
We're clear to the Igloo LS16, Austrian 69 on the mic.
Now. And that's the 10 checks complete for the time being. Seatbelts remaining on until we're out of the weather. And that's pretty much it. Then let's log on to CPDLC.
Here at 16 and the whiskey 671 for Australia for 60.
Okay, and that's sent. Austrian 7 from Vienna to Bangkok. Looking fantastic. Well then guys, that's basically all I got to offer for you right now. Let's go ahead and turn those dome lights back on, because it's nicer to have a little bit of light throughout the night. I mean, there's two types of pilots. One who really likes the darkness, because, you know, the eyes adjust to it and it makes it all a little bit easier. And then there's those who absolutely hate the darkness, because it's easier to stay awake when it's daylight, and I'm definitely the second type. I mean, you're never gonna get real daylight conditions, but you know what I mean. So yeah guys, for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and then I see you all when we start our approach to Bangkok. morning, my friends. I hope you had a nice flight thus far and enjoyed the sunset, well, sunrise, as well as the beautiful views. Now, we are descending towards Bangkok and we have been assigned runway 19 for our arrival. Since there is no ATC online at this time in Bangkok, we have switched to Say Intentions AI for our arrival ATC. Now let's go ahead and prepare our 777 and also go over the approach briefing and everything we need to do in order to get ourselves ready for the approach. Now let's start by reviewing the current weather, and that's what we got down here. So Bangkok 8 is Papa, wind 240 at 3, slightly variable, wind visibility 10 kilometers, few clouds and 2000, temperature 33, QNH 1007. Looks like those thunderstorms haven't moved in yet, even though they are forecast for in about an hour. So weather is still okay for the time being and our arrival. Now looking into what we've got for our setup, in the FMS we got speed 240, below 10,000, then the forecast page is all filled out. The fixed ring is 25 miles around Bangkok airport, and that basically marks our minimum safe altitude, which on this approach today is 3,900 in that small sector down there, but basically 1,800 within 20 miles. So let's say 3,000 due to that sector over the city there. So 3,000 around the airport is completely going to keep us safe. Now, the Willa 1 Charlie arrival is basically a standard downwind, and then ATC is going to vector us to the final. Or maybe they even give us vectors a little early, so we'll see about that. Now for our approach, we got all that lovely stuff in here, and the approach itself is the ILS Zulu 19er, which we got down here, starting in Lavok 3000 and Locknell 2000, Bravo Sierra 790 in 1600, and we do a speed control here across Bravo Sierra 790 between 150 and 160 knots, and cross Locknell at 180 knots. So that's exactly what we are going to do, and that is what we got down here in our FMS as well. Okay. The go-around is a left turn out, maximum 210 initially, climbing 4,000, and after waypoint 605, climbing to 5,000. And that's what we are going to do. Okay then, couple more speed restrictions over here, 250 over the next waypoint. Let's get that speed brake out in order to be able to meet that restriction. Because that's a little Boeing VNAV problem, but real-world Boeing VNAV problem there. When you're on a constant descent angle segment, so basically we crossed a waypoint with a restriction earlier, now we're crossing a waypoint with a restriction again, then the plane is not going to build in any segments where you would decelerate. So it's just changing the target but without adjusting the pitch. Welcome to the weird world of Boeing. That's just how it is. Alright, and that's pretty much everything we got for our approach setup today. So let's go ahead and do the approach briefing now and see what we are going to come up with. So it's the Willa 1 Charlie arrival, which will be followed by radar vectors or direct onto the final. Our MSA is 2,300 within 20 miles, and the approach minimum 250. The go-around is a left turn out, climbing initially 4,000, later on 5,000. Extra fuel on time, yeah, we took all the lovely extra fuel. Looks like we are not going to need it now. 10.6 is the forecast arrival fuel versus reserves of 5.0, so that gives us pretty much 45 minutes of extra fuel. Now the approach is going to be flight director guided, flaps 25 approach, and we are going to use maximum reversers and auto brake 3 that needs about 2,150 meters, so we have a stop margin that is several hundred meters long. We're going to vacate the runway onto the right hand side, and then we've got no hotspots for our taxi in, probably Bravo 10 or Bravo 11. Bravo Juliet parking down here at the satellite. And that's all I got for the time being. There is nothing special, there is nothing non-standard. and I got no threats for this approach. Anything from your side? Nope. Okay, then that's our approach briefing completed. Ooh, that's nice. So, direct to Lavok. Okay, 2000 above the profile, no problem at all. 777 has such an effective speed brake. And the simulator had a little freeze there, but here we go. So, direct to Lavok. It sounds like we're the only one at this time of the day. It's somewhat late afternoon right now. I guess the last outbound wave is already departed, and now the next inbound wave is a little bit behind us. Alright, passing 10,000. Lights are on, signs are on. Approach checklist. Altimeters. QNH.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into Bangkok. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow
1007. Approach checklist complete.
to their upright position. Ensure your seats are fully upright and fasten your seatbelts. The current weather in Bangkok is warm, with a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius.
Okay, there comes the profile, and let's slowly retract those speed brakes. Enough path. Nice.
Bangkok Control, cargo lock 7355, flight level 210.
Cargo lock 7355, radar contact.
Okay, that's all looking good so far. Then we're pretty much on the straight-in sector. Approaching. Let's start slowing down already. I don't want to waste any fuel by applying thrust right now. That's why I'm just going to vertical speed mode here, selecting the target down so that the engines stay in idle, and so that once we get further descent we can just either pitch down again, or if we can't do that, simply end up without any excess energy here. Always remember, total energy equals kinetic energy, so speed, plus potential energy, altitude, so you can trade one for another. And that's basically what we're doing here. Alright.
Austrian 7, turn right, heading 300 vectors for the ILS runway 19er approach.
300. That doesn't sound like something we want to do.
Austrian 7, descend 3000.
But it's only 3000, Austrian 7. Okay, 3000 is checked.
Bangkok Control, Thai 601, flight level 230.
Okay, level change, speed 230.
Radar contact. Bangkok Control, Thai Beach at 106, flight level 170.
Oh, it does sound like it's getting a little busier right now. Let's see here, that's exactly what I wanted to do. We're now at a slightly reduced speed, but we're exactly on the glide slope, so the moment ATC says cleared ILS, we simply arm approach mode, and then we are established straight away.
China, Southern 3081, radar contact.
Okay, we're clear to Lavok, that's on the center line, so I'm intercepting the final here.
Redcap 856, radar contact.
So a tiny bit below the glide slope, but then again we are a little fast right now, so that's completely fine. Let's go ahead and start slowing down. Flaps 1, speed check.
Miles from Bravo Sierra 790. Maintain present heading. Descend altitude 600 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 19er approach. QNH 1007.
Okay, 1600 set. Descending 1600, cleared ILS Zulu 19er on QNH 1007 Austrian 7. And let's start slowing down. Flaps 5, speed checked. Flaps 5. Glide slope capture. Current altitude set.
Austrian 7, contact Samarna Boomy Tower on 118.2.
118.2, Austrian 7.
Bangkok Control, Thai Air Asia 3233, flight level 170. Thai Air Asia 3233.
Samarna Boomy Tower, good morning. Austrian 7 Heavy established ILS 19. Okay, then they want us at 160 over waypoint 790.
Susan Boomy Tower, roger. Wind 240 at 3. 7 heavy, runway 19er. Wind 240 at 3. Clear to land.
Runway 19er, clear to land, Austrian 7. Okay, flaps 15. So between 150 and 160, so I'd say this is perfect. Alright then. All manual. Alright, gear down, flaps 20. Flaps 25. Shut up, the gear is coming. Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Alright, lovely. So, stabilized at 1000. It's a little turbulent here. You can also see that on the wind vector, how it is changing a bit. Checked. Then again, we are in the light version of the 777, in the 200ER, so little response there is kinda expected. Ooh, nice downdraft here. Damn it, I actually need to work for my money. I was kinda hoping to go to the hotel and later on to some nice beach, but looks like we gotta earn that first.
Approaching minimum.
Checked. The easiest way to do this right now is to pitch the plane, continue, to pitch the plane in order to maintain the glide slope, but do not chase it. Especially not at low altitudes in a wide body, that's not gonna work.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up, thruster is normal.
Wind 210 at 4, runway
80 knots.
left, clear to land. Welcome to Suvarnabhumi.
And 60 knots.
Clear to land, 02 left, cargo looks 7.
Manual brakes. And here we are. Lovely.
Exit at Bravo 10 if able. Contact ground on 121.905.
121.905, Austrian 7.
Did you know that Bangkok is home to the world's largest golden Buddha statue, weighing over 5 tons?
Suvarnabhumi ground, Austrian 7 heavy, vacating runway 19.
On behalf of your flight crew, thank you for flying with Austrian Airlines. The local time here is 2:27 p.m. For those with upcoming...
Austrian 7, Suvarnabhumi ground. Taxi to satellite 1 gate S124 via Bravo 10. Bravo, Charlie 9er, Juliet, Juliet 1, Tango 19er. Good day.
245 to Sydney.
Austrian 7, taxi gate 124 via Bravo, Charlie 9er, Juliet, Juliet 1, Tango 19er. Good day. Okay. Alright, here we go. The airplane is nice and clean. Then let's see. Charlie 9er, Juliet, Juliet 1, Tango 19.
544 contact tower on 118.2.
Charlie 9er, Juliet, Juliet 1, Tango 19. The gate is 124, so over here. Okay, easy. Alright, ground services are selected, and well guys, here we are. Welcome to Bangkok. Do hope you enjoyed that one. I certainly did, and that was an interesting one with all those it was definitely an interesting one with all those turbulences on the final there. I could actually get used to doing that. But I could even more so get used to going to the hotel now, have a nice sleep, and then later on going to some nice beach. Even though it has to be a quick one at the beach because we are already flying back 24 hours later. That's the pity when you fly for an airline that does every flight every day. Okay, something tells me that our target taxiway, Juliet 9, is missing in the scenery. Then I'm gonna take this one here, even though it's X'd out. I'm fairly sure that was the target taxiway, wasn't it? Yep, sure it was. Okay, that's fine. Then we continue straight, second taxiway to the right to enter the terminal area. And then off to gate 124.
Cleared for push and start.
Cleared push and start. Ethiopian 628.
Ground Bangkok Air 276, taxi to the ramp.
Bangkok Air 276, taxi to parking via Foxtrot 6.
Alright,
Foxtrot hold
guys.
short of runway 20
So,
left.
do let me know how you like this one. If you didn't notice, I have recorded the entire cruise in real time, not using time acceleration, so that the plane would fly a little bit more precisely, and just because I didn't have the time available. The real time, that is. But do leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Always looking forward to that. And let me know how you liked the 777's performance in this one. Something I did notice was a little bit of an autopilot oscillation when we leveled off at our cruising altitude on the initial climb. I'm not sure how well you can actually see that on the time acceleration. Okay, start APU. So, gate 124 is surely to the left of the Qatar, and probably between the Qatar and the United.
Thai 624, runway 1 taxi via Tango 18, Charlie, Charlie 8, Bravo, Bravo 13.
Runway 1 taxi via Tango 18.
Alright, so left over here.
Thai 624.
Then 124 is 2 gates to the left.
Bangkok Air 276,
And here it
runway
is.
20 left.
Okay, shut on engine 2.
Crossing 20 left, Bangkok Air 276.
Alright, and here we are. The guidance system is on. 777 is on there.
Ground, Cargo Lux 7355, taxi to the gate.
Cargo Lux 7355, taxi to parking via Foxtrot 6, Foxtrot Whiskey, hold short of runway 20 left.
Foxtrot 6.
Did you see that? It reached 0.3 meters and then immediately went into too far. Like, how fucked up is GSX? Nothing is working with that add-on. Okay, APU running is confirmed and shut down.
Air Macau 935, runway 1 taxi via Tango, Charlie 4, Bravo, Bravo 13.
I guess it's bright enough outside that we didn't blind anyone, but should of course have turned off the pumps nonetheless, or the lights. Okay, and here we are. So the engines are running down, beacon is going off, and shutdown checklist. Park and brake set, shutdown checklist complete. Alright, so deboarding can already be selected. Then all the doors into park, please. Like that, and then let's get the trucks, let's get the ground power, and let's get the air conditioning unit, please. Like this. Alright, perfect. So let's have a look into our figures. Fuel, we have used 65.5 and we were supposed to use 65.2. Used a little bit more, but then again we were a little bit heavier as well due to the extra fuel I took. And then we saved a bit again on the arrival, so I guess the fuel usage totally makes sense over here. Apart from that, do we have anything for the books? No, this is all expected, this is all expected, and the oil quantities are still good as well. Squawk machine is off, and I suppose that's pretty much it. So then, let's shut the airplane down, and then we're off to the hotel. So secure checklist, please. packs off, secure checklist complete. Well guys, with that, thank you very much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.